Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Unexplained and Unsolved podcast. In this episode, I will be reacting to a Jeffrey Dahmer court interview. This is a shorter interview, so the episode is going to be a lot shorter than the previous episode. So I'll be getting into the video shortly, but first I would like to do a short little introduction to just address a few things. So in the last episode, when me and Dakota were reviewing the last Jeffrey Dahmer interview, I kind of edited the video a little weird. So what we did is we were talking over the actual interview. So I know a lot of people were saying that, we should just pause the video while we're reviewing it. And so we definitely took that into mind, and I definitely took that into mind when it comes to editing the video. So in this video, I will just be reacting to it because it is a shorter video, like I said before. But in the next episode, if we ever react to a longer interview, we'll definitely keep that in mind to pause the interview if we ever have anything to say. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into the video.
Conrad Synthesome was only 14 years old when he met Jeffrey Dahmer at the Grand Avenue Mall. Like the others, Dahmer offered him money to come back to his apartment. In a video deposition for a civil suit filed later by Synthesome's family against the city of Milwaukee, this is what Dahmer said happened next.
He was on the couch, lying down with the drilling technique had already been applied, and I thought he was asleep.
With his victim asleep, Dahmer went for a drink at a local bar.
Did you arrive at a conclusion as to whether or not you had taken his life as a consequence of the drilling technique?
No, it hadn't.
How do you know that?
Because he was walking down State Street.
What happened next was almost as unbelievable as the crime itself.
He was nude. Two girls had called 911, the police or something. I put my arm around him, trying to walk him back to the apartment, and got halfway there, and that's when the police and rescue squad came in. The story he was a house guest friend who sometimes drinks too much on weekends and runs out of the street and dressed her naked.
Remarkably, Dahmer was able to convince police that Conrad, a slight 14-year-old boy, was his adult lover, and together they returned him to the apartment.
Wow, that was a very short but very impactful video. And I'm sure most of you, if you watched the Dahmer series, you are aware of what happened. And the thing that just really gets me is that how did the cops not tell, or how could they not tell that the kid was 14 years old and they thought he was like a grown adult? Like, I feel like anybody, if you were to look at someone who's 14, 15, even like 16 or under 20, it doesn't even matter. I feel you could tell that they're definitely not an adult. And a good point that Dakota brought up in the last video was maybe the cops just didn't care. Like, maybe they were just like racist or something and they didn't even care, like, if it was an underage kid. They just saw like some white guy and just, I guess, believed him over Linda Cleveland and her two daughters. And that's just really unfortunate, because like obviously if they would have just believed them or took the kid home or something like that, all of this could have been avoided and he would have never lost his life. And not to say that like any of the victims were not as sad as others, but this one just really is sad because I'm pretty sure he's like his youngest victim and he was only 14, so it's like he didn't even get to live his life. He was still in high school. And honestly, I'm just glad that his family sued the city, because it really is on them, and it definitely is on the police department, because they could have done a lot more. Like I said, they could have took him home or questioned him or like something. Like I feel like they definitely could have done more than what they did. And obviously like money and everything didn't really mean anything to them, but just to kind of punish the city and punish the police department for what they did, I feel like that was definitely the right way to go. And another thing that's really sick is that about how Jeffrey Dahmer would just like drill into these victims' heads. Like, that's just really sick. I could never imagine doing that to somebody. I'm sure nobody can, but that's just like really gross. And that just really goes to show like how crazy he was, because, you know, obviously anybody in the right mind wouldn't think that you can make a zombie or even like kill somebody, not even just making like a zombie. Like, in order for someone to kill someone, I feel like you definitely have to have something wrong with you. And the fact that he literally went to the bar after he did that to somebody is like crazy to me. He literally just acted like nothing happened, like it didn't even affect him at all. And the other really crazy thing is that he, at least like from what I'm getting, I don't know, quote, like tell me if I'm wrong or not, but the fact that he was able to walk, like the victim was able to walk after, and he had got to the drill to his head. And by the way, I don't mean to disrespect the victim or anything. I know his name's Conorak, and I know this kind of happened a long time ago, but still, like, my condolences go out to Conorak and his family. Because like I said before, they may have gotten all that money from the city and like really punished him, but they'll never get their kid back, and that's just really sad. So if you made it this far into the video, I don't really want to just do like a 3-minute video. I like to do like longer videos. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to react to another shorter interview, but it's actually an interview between, I guess, like some news source and Glenda Cleveland, Jeffrey Dahmer's neighbor. And I think I said Linda earlier in the video, so I'm sorry, but it is Glenda. And yeah, so I just want to do like a longer video because, I mean, we are a podcast after all. So I hope you enjoy this little extra bit of the video.
First was the voice of insistence, the voice of concern, the voice that fell on deaf ears. Tonight, Glenda Cleveland relives the frustration of being shut out by a police operator as she insisted the person being beaten was a child.
When I say what I have to say and I know it to be true, I don't feel that I have to constantly keep repeating myself. And I think that can be said for everyone.
Glenda Cleveland remembers the day Conorak died, remembers the police assurances that everything was okay. Did you start to doubt yourself?
I must admit I did. I did.
But do you feel they let that boy down that night?
Yes, they did. Yes. Yes, he was definitely let down. He was let down as low as he could get. And that was to his grave. You can't get much lower than that.
Wow, it's honestly really crazy and like honestly like baffling that the police did not listen to Glenda Cleveland at all. Like, I mean, I don't even know. Like it's just really crazy. Like, Glenda really did all she could really do. You know, she called the cops multiple times and she really tried to persuade them, I guess, like into believing her and, you know, like trying to get that kid in a safe place. And, you know, like I said, I always say this, like, it's just crazy that they didn't believe her or, you know, thought that he wasn't in danger. You know, really shout out to Glenda Cleveland, man. Like, honestly, she, like I said, she really did all she could do, and she honestly did more than the cops. Like, she, you know, really tried to protect that kid, and honestly, it really falls on the cops. Like I said before, they really did not do that much. I feel like if they could have seen, or not even if they could have seen, like, if they seen the way how Glenda reacted to this whole thing, you know, that should have been like a major red flag on, you know, this, you know, I should have believed this lady, and obviously this kid is in danger. And it's just really crazy that, you know, she called the cops multiple times on Jeffrey Dahmer, and every time it just seemed like she was shut out by them. And, you know, obviously, again, this could just be like a racial issue, and it's just really unfortunate because, you know, a lot could have been done, and not even just for Conorak's death. Like, I feel like if they would have believed her sooner on, you know, a lot of the deaths or a lot of his victims could have been prevented, you know. Yeah, it's crazy. And, you know, it's not even like she like was sounding crazy or anything. Like, you can tell she's a very smart woman. And yeah, I don't understand like why they would believe him over her, because, you know, obviously, like, Jeffrey Dahmer, he kind of does seem off, or he comes off as like a weird guy. I'm not even gonna lie, but yeah, I just don't understand like why they would believe him over her. And like the fact that her 2 kids, or I think it was like her kid and like someone else, like maybe her cousin or her niece or something like that, actually called the cops on Dahmer. So it was literally 3 against 1, and they still chose to believe Dahmer over, you know, Glenda Cleveland and her kid. So that's really, really insane and really unfortunate. And the question that the reporter asked Glenda really resonated with me, like how he said, did you start to question yourself after? And that's just really crazy because in the series, you could tell, I mean, you don't really know for sure, but I feel like that would have really taken a toll on somebody, because, you know, if you're thinking something is one way, like obviously in Glenda's case, she was thinking that Dahmer was up to something very sinister, and, you know, people just kept brushing you off. I feel like that would really turn you insane, and it would really make you question, I guess, your credibility or your sanity. You know, I feel like, especially like with the law and everything, you know, like for them to just blow her off every time, like they didn't even listen to her, it's just really crazy to me. Because, you know, obviously they're there to protect us, or they're supposed to protect us, and obviously they don't all the time. And yeah, it's really, really sad. I mean, they really did let Conrad and Glenda down, and really all the victims down, because like I said, this could have been prevented a lot longer if they would have just listened to Glenda, like when she called on the different occasions, and even with Conrad's occasion, a lot of this could have been avoided. So I think this will be the end of the video. In the next episode, we might do another interview reaction. I really want to do a cryptid series again, just because those are like my favorite thing to do, really. I like to do other things too, obviously, like when it comes to reacting to interviews, or doing movie reviews, or reacting to movie trailers. But yeah, I really want to do another cryptid series. So this episode will go up on Wednesday, and hopefully Dakota and me can get together and record an episode this weekend and maybe have it up by Sunday, if not Saturday, but Sunday being the latest. And yeah, so just don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for everyone that gave us that feedback. We always ask you guys to give us feedback to let us know how we're doing, see like what we can change, because you can always get better. We're still kind of new to this whole like YouTube thing, and yeah, we just gotta keep working, and we'll get there to where we can just put out the best content every single time. Obviously we try to do that to begin with, but kind of being a, I guess, like novice at this like whole editing thing and like the whole YouTube thing, it can be very difficult, and I'm not trying to make up any excuses or anything, but yeah, every day I'm always trying to figure out how we can make the videos better. Also Dakota too, we're always brainstorming on like what we can talk about, how we can make the video, and how we can just overall be a better YouTube channel, just so that we can get out there more. Our last episode did really, really well. I think right now our video is sitting at 448 views, so I think that might be actually our highest rated. Yeah, it actually is. So it's actually, or actually no, it's not. The Dahmer Netflix trailer review was actually our highest rated video at 483. So yeah, it's just crazy to think of like how far we came from only having like 20 something views to almost 500 views. It's really crazy. And obviously it's not really all about the views or anything. We just want to, even if we just got like 100 views and just had like a small community or whatever, it's cool to know that people are actually watching our videos and enjoying them. And we truly do hope that you guys enjoy our videos and our content, because we really do love making it. It's really exciting just to, I guess like put yourself out there, and I guess have people enjoy like your content, because in a way it's kind of like art. So to have people, watch your video and give you good feedback, and, tell you the video was great and like your video, it really does make you feel good. And so yeah, I think that's all I really got to say, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good night.